If you're not throwing this bait, you may be missing out, so let's talk about it. Welcome back to another episode of Fish Facts. So today I wanted to talk about a bait that I've absolutely loved this year. It's probably my new favorite soft plastic of all time, and that is the Bass Smooch Could Be. And it is named the Could Be because it could be anything you want it to be. I've caught fish with it on a drop shot. There we go.
Yeah, brother. Let's get it. How many did you start netting me, cuz?
I've caught fish with it on a jig head minnow.
Holy cow. Big one. Net.
Nice.
I've caught fish with it on the back of a buzzbait.
Big one. Big one? Gotta be.
I've caught fish with it on the back of a chatterbait, back of a spinnerbait. I've caught fish with it on a Ned rig. I've even caught a fish, a singular fish, because I only fished it for a little bit, but I caught a singular fish using it as like a little mini fluke. So there's a ton of different applications for this thing, and it's nuts. But what the Could Be is a minnow style bait. It's a little bit different. So most minnow style baits, like if I went and got, here, let's take a fluke right here, for instance. A fluke versus the Could Be. The fluke, most minnow style baits like this, they have a lot wider body, a lot bigger body to them, and they taper off into a tail. The Could Be is a much slimmer bait, much smaller profile, and it's a little bit different. And that's a smaller profile with those ribs gives this bait a lot of action, and a lot of erratic action to it. So let's break down the design of the bait. So the front of the bait, you have the head, which most people pinch off using certain techniques like a jig head minnow. I'm going to pinch that head off, or depending on what I'm throwing it as, a lot of times as a trailer, I'm going to pinch that little head off. But if I'm throwing on a Ned rig or a drop shot or things like that, when I want that bait to stay in place on my hook, I'm going to keep that head on because that plastic helps hold that head on. But there's a little divide, so if you want to pinch it off, you can do it cleanly. And then all the way down, it's a rib body all the way down. It has a nice little spine on the back, so whenever you're holding it straight up flat, that tail's not going to move as much downward. That spine's going to kind of hold it in place, but if you turn it to its side, it's just going to flop over like a piece of pizza would. And it's a rib body all the way down. It tapers down into that tail, which is it's a little flat-sided tail. And what that does is it helps it move a little bit more water whenever you're sitting there jigging it and things like that. But this bait looks fantastic. The differences between this as a trailer compared to the new shovel tail is this bait is a lot more erratic. So whenever you're fishing for spotted bass in the summertime that are chasing bait, or fish that are chasing bait, this bait will do it on the back of a buzz bait or spinner bait. But if you're throwing a chatterbait, I'm always going to throw this. But if you're throwing like spinner bait, buzz bait for really active fish, I'm going to throw the more erratic. Or if you're throwing in clear water, I'm going to throw that more erratic bait on the back. But if you're throwing in like dirtier water, you're looking for a bigger profile, because the shovel tail is a 1/4 inch bigger and a lot fatter, like a regular minnow style bait. As a trailer, it's a lot fatter, so it gives your bait a much bigger profile, and it doesn't have as much action. It's more pressured fish, pressured situations, things like that. This thing shines because it does not have as much action as a trailer on a spinner bait or a buzz bait, wherever. Especially if you pull that skirt off the buzz bait, it's just fantastic. That's the difference is there. But yeah, it's great. You can rig it up. I think my favorite way is on a jig head minnow. That's what I love using it for. You can cut just the head off, or you can cut 1 inch off, so where you just have the back of it right there. Whatever you want to do, depending on the size of the bait fish, you can cut this thing down to it. And it works great. So if you want to go check out the Could Be's, I will leave the link in the description, so you can go check these out. Use my code Knuckleheads15. You'll be able to save 15% off on your Could Be's. They have tons of amazing colors. This pearl white color, threadfin shad color, Tennessee shad color, like a goby sort of color, bluegill colors. All the colors for all the different bait fish that you may have around the country, they have it on BassSmooch.com. So make sure you go check out. You're not missing out on this bait. It can save you a lot of space in your boat, in your kayak, in your tackle bag, wherever. It does the job. But that's today's Fish Facts. We'll see you in the next one.